Hi, welcome back to my page. Today we're gonna do just another fun flow. It's a little bit more advanced, nothing crazy. I know you can do it, but as always, you are your own greatest teacher. So if something doesn't feel good to you, leave it out. If something is feeling inviting in your body, go ahead and do it. You are always the one that knows best. So trust your intuition and just do what feels good to you. If you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe to my channel so you can be the first to know when I drop new classes or new stuff. Anyways, here we go. So in the theme of being your own greatest teacher, just find a position on your mat that feels good for you to start. So that could be lying on your back, you could start in a child's pose, really just anything that feels good to you. So I'm gonna start lying on my back and just settling in here. Just beginning to notice that natural breath. And if you want to set a separate intention for your class today, feel free. My focus is going to be on trusting my intuition and just knowing that I am truly the one that knows best what my body needs and what I need out of this life. So begin to create that deep Ujjayi breath. We do this by sealing our lips, taking a deep inhale through your nose, filling that belly, feeling it truly expand. And then as you exhale, you're going to keep those lips sealed and exhale through your nose, also creating that ocean-like sound. Sometimes it helps if you softly place your tip of your tongue on the roof of your mouth. We're just continuing with this Ujjayi breath throughout our entire practice today. Everything else is optional, but your breath is the only thing that's required. So from wherever you are, just start to kind of move in a way that feels good. So if you're lying on your back, maybe you want to bring your knees into your chest and rock side to side. If you're in kind of that child's pose, maybe you push into all fours, a little cat-cow, down dog, just whatever feels good to you. And then wherever you are, just begin to make your way onto all fours. Just gonna start here with some spinal movements. Exhale as you round that spine. And inhale as you shine that heart, drop your belly. Exhale as you round, angry cat. And inhale as you soften. Beginning to just invite in any movements that feel good. Snaking your spine side to side. Maybe you rock forward and back. Maybe you find a little up dog. Just again, listening to your body, noticing how you feel this morning, or whatever time of day it is that you're practicing this flow. Find a little stillness in that all fours quadruped position. We're going to inhale, our right arm lifts up to the sky. And exhale as you thread that arm underneath. Bring your right ear down to the ground. And just really feel that opening. Feel that stretch along your back. Just let the weight of your body really stretch into that right shoulder. Inhale as we bring that right arm back up to the sky. And exhale, set it down. Inhale, that left arm lifts to the sky. Exhale as you thread it under. Finding that nice juicy stretch for your shoulder on this opposite side. Never letting go of that breath. Breathing nice and deep. Feeling that nice rotation of our spines. And inhale, that left arm comes back. And exhale, set gonna go ahead and lift our hips, tuck our toes, and find that first downward facing dog. Just notice how you feel in your first downward facing dog of the day. Bend one knee and then the other, just walking your dog. Noticing how those calves and hamstrings feel. Really tuck those shoulders down away from your ears, pulling them down into your back pockets. And then find a little stillness in our downward facing dog. Taking some deep inhales and exhales. And we're going to slowly walk our hands back to meet our feet. Find a nice forward fold here, bending your knees to any degree that feels good. Just letting your head hang heavy. Just taking those nice deep inhales and exhales here. You always have the option for that opposite elbow grab. Just find the forward fold that feels good to you. Release your hands if you have that opposite elbow grab. We're going to slowly rise all the way up to standing. Our arms stretch up and overhead, and then we're going to step our left ankle behind our right, reach for that left wrist, and give it a little tug as you arc over to your right side, feeling that stretch all along that left side body. Inhale, coming back up to center, gaze up. Exhale, that right ankle comes behind your left, reach for your right wrist, and arc over to the left side. Inhale back to center, and exhale, swan dive forward, find your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, we're gonna bend that left knee, inhale your right arm open to the sky. Breathing here, gaze is up at those right fingertips. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, nice flat back, bend that right knee, left arm opens, gaze to your left fingertips. And exhale, fold. Inhale, beginning again, rising all the way up to standing, arms stretch up and overhead. Reach for that left wrist as your left ankle crosses behind your right. And then inhale back to center. And exhale over to the other side. Inhaling back to center. Exhale as you hinge and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Opening to the right. And exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift as you open to the left side. And exhale, fold. Beginning again, just really using the sun salutation A to get our breath moving and to get our spine nice and warmed up. Moving that spine in all different directions. Exhale as you fold. Inhale, halfway lift. So the way I format my classes is we always go through it the first time nice and slow, so you can really feel it in your body. Then we move through one time with breath and movement, one breath per movement. And then we kind of start to go on our own a little bit. So if you start to move a little faster than I'm moving, that's okay. If you're going a little slower, that's 100% all right as well. Just focusing on that breath. Typically using those inhales as we open and extend, and exhales as we close and fold. Inhale, halfway lift, and opening to the right, and exhale, close and fold. Inhale, halfway lift, and open to the left, and exhale, fold. One more time through this sun salutation A. And then we will meet together in downward facing dog. Just walking your hands back out in front of you and find that downward facing dog. Just taking a few nice deep inhales and exhales here. We're going to inhale, come up on our toes, and exhale, bend your knees, hop or step to the top of your mat. We're going to sink our hips nice and low and find that first chair position as we start Sun Salutation B. Sit a little deeper. We get to really feel it the first time through. Gaze is up past your fingertips. Then we're going to inhale that right arm back behind us, open arm twist. Send that drishti or gaze to your right fingertips. And inhale back to center. Exhale, that left arm comes back behind, gazing back towards your left fingertips. And inhale back to center, sit a little deeper, really feel it in your glutes, sitting back. Torso is upright. And exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale as we plant our palms, step back into our first strong plank. So really pushing back through those heels, lifting up through your core, engaging your glutes. And as we exhale, we're going to slowly lower down through chaturanga. You can come halfway down or all the way down to the ground. Flip those toes. Inhale, find that easy cobra. If you want, you can come all the way up to upward facing dog. And exhale, back to that downward facing dog. Breathing nice and deep here. We're going to inhale that right leg to the sky, three-legged dog. So making sure that your foot is nice and flexed, your hips are square towards the ground, not opening up. We're going to exhale, step that right foot forward, ground your back foot, rise all the way up, warrior one. Breathing nice and deep here, nice and bent in that right leg. Exhale as you cactus your arms down, find a clasp behind you. You can also always have an opposite elbow grab. You can grab a strap, whatever feels good, but we're gonna inhale as we open across that heart center, still staying nice and bent in that right knee. And exhale as we come to the inside of that right leg, humble warrior. Breathing nice and deep. And we're going to exhale, release that left palm to the ground, spin your back heel up, right arm to the sky, dragonfly twist. And exhale, follow that right arm, come all the way down to the left, coming into that low side lunge on your left, bending into that left knee. Your palms can be down at heart center or out in front of you. Returning back to the front of your mat. Step that right foot back and find downward facing dog. This time we're going to inhale our left leg to the sky. Again, making sure that foot is nice and flexed. Your hips are square down to the ground. Exhale, bring that left foot forward, ground your back foot. Set up your foundation first. And then rise up nice and strong, sinking deep into that left bent knee. Gaze is up towards your fingertips. Core is engaged. Exhale as you cactus those arms down. Find that clasp or strap. Inhale as you shine your heart. And exhale, humble warrior. Release that right hand down, back heel spins up. Left arm to the sky, dragonfly twist. Then we're going to bring that left arm down, follow it all the way down as we come into that low side lunge on the right. Really feeling that opening here through that left inner thigh. And then return to face the back of the mat. Step back into plank and we'll take a vinyasa. And the vinyasas are of course always optional. You can always skip them and meet together in downward facing dog. Taking a few deep breaths here, inhales and exhales in our downward facing dog. Then inhale, come up on your toes. Exhale, make your way to the top of the mat. Sink those hips nice and low and find that chair pose. Inhale, open arm twist to the right. And back to center. And over to the left. And back to center. Exhale as we hinge and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, plant your palms, step back. And then lowering down an exhale. Inhale into that upward facing dog or easy cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. Beginning again on that right side, that right leg lifts. Exhale as you step it on through, ground and rise up on an inhale. Exhale as you cactus those arms. Find a clasp, inhale, shine. And exhale, humble warrior. Left palm plants, dragonfly twist. And then coming all the way down and around, finding that low side lunge, Skandasana. Back to the front. Optional vinyasa or start back in down dog. Inhale that left leg to the sky. Exhale, step it forward, ground and rise. Exhale, find that clasp. Inhale, shine. And exhale, humble warrior. Right palm plants, left arm opens. And then find that Skandasana, low side lunge to the other side. Turning back to face the front. And again, optional vinyasa. Or begin again in down dog. Taking a couple deep inhales and exhales here in this down dog, noticing how it's starting to feel a little different. We're really starting to get our bodies nice and warmed up. And begin again at the top of your mat. Sinking those hips nice and low. So while Sun Salutation A is so much about the spine, Sun Salutation B, we really start to warm up those hips. Beginning to flow with your own breath and movement here. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, optional vinyasa. Inhale that right leg to the sky. Exhale, bring it on through. And exhale as you find that clasp. Inhale as you open. Exhale as you close. Plant that left palm. Find your dragonfly twist on an inhale. Then exhale, come into that low side lunge. And back to the front. Stepping back to down dog. Inhale that left leg to the sky. And exhale as you step it through. Inhale, rise. Exhale, clasp. Inhale, shine. And exhale, humble. Plant that palm. Inhale as you open. And exhale as you find that low side lunge. Turning back to the front and take that optional vinyasa. Taking a few more deep breaths in this downward facing dog, and we're going to flow through our Sun Salutation B one more time. Trying to just go on your own, letting your breath guide you. It will still offer those simple cues for you as well. Inhaling up on those toes, and exhale, make your way to the top of your mat. Sink those hips nice and low and find that chair. Exhale, open arm twist. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, open arm twist. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, fold. Inhale, nice flat back. Exhale, plant your palms, step back, and take that vinyasa. Inhale that right leg to the sky. Exhale, step it on through, rise up on an inhale. Exhale, find that clasp. Inhale as you shine your heart, and exhale, humble warrior. Plant that left palm, right arm to the sky. Skandasana over to the left. Back to the front. Step that right foot back, down dog. And inhale, left leg to the sky. Exhale, step it forward, ground that back foot. Rise up on an inhale. Exhale, find that clasp. Inhale, shine your heart, and exhale, humble warrior. Plant that right palm, left arm opens to the sky. And then Skandasana over to the right. Turning back to the front. Take another vinyasa, or just meet together in downward facing dog or child's pose. Wherever feels like a nice resting posture for you. Again, you are your own greatest teacher, so listen to what feels good to you right now. Just taking this brief moment to really come back to that breath. Noticing where you need to soften and where you need to find that strength. So maybe softening across the jaw, softening across your brow. Breathing nice and deep. So our sun salutation C, we're gonna build in a few different segments. That way we can really get into feeling it before we add on. Get a little more creative in our sun salutation C. That's where we get to have a little more fun. So again, if something doesn't feel good to you, just skip it. Or if something is really calling to you, of course, always add that back in. So beginning again in that downward facing dog. And the beginning of our sun salutation C is gonna feel very similar. So we're gonna inhale that right leg to the sky, keeping those hips nice and square. And exhale, step that right foot forward, ground your back foot, rise up, strong warrior one. Exhale, cactus those arms, find that clasp. Inhale, shine your heart. Exhale, humble warrior. Sounds familiar, right? We're gonna keep that going as we release that left palm down. Right arm lifts to the sky. And this is where we're gonna switch it up a little bit. So bring that right hand slightly out in front of your right foot. Put all the weight into your right foot, right hand, and open up into our half moon balance. So any variation that feels good to you, if you feel wobbly, you fall out of it, that's okay. Just opening that left leg, left arm to the sky, 2 points of contact on the ground. And we're gonna find a nice soft landing into warrior two. So arms are teed out, we're gazing, our drishti is over our right fingertips, right knee is nice and bent. Then we're gonna inhale as we reverse our warrior, that right palm comes up, left palm comes down your back thigh, or finds a half bind. Still nice and bent in that right leg. And exhale, we're gonna cartwheel our hands down around that right foot. Step your right foot back and take an optional vinyasa. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, that left leg lifts to the sky, hips are square. Exhale, step it forward, ground the back foot, rise up nice and strong on an inhale. And then exhale, cactus those arms. Inhale as you open. Exhale, humble warrior. That right palm drops down, back heel spins up. Left arm opens as we inhale into that dragonfly twist. And this is where we just switched it up a little bit from that sun B. Step that left hand in front of your left foot. Put the weight into your left foot. Find stability and then open up into that half moon balance. Whoop. See if you fall out, that's okay. So either find a non-moving object on the ground for your drishti, or if you want to challenge yourself, gaze up at those fingertips. Then find a nice soft landing into warrior two. Gaze is over towards those left fingertips, left knee is nice and bent. Flip that left palm up, right hand slides down. Reverse warrior. And then cartwheel those hands down. Step back and take that vinyasa. And exhale, downward facing dog. All right, so we're gonna add on a little bit to that. So beginning again, that right leg lifts to the sky. Exhale, step it through. Rise up on an inhale. Exhale as you cactus those arms. Inhale, shine your heart. And exhale, fold. Left palm plants, right arm lifts to the sky, dragonfly twist. Shoot that right hand out in front of you, find that stability. Open up into that half moon balance. And then find that soft landing into warrior two. Inhale as we reverse that warrior. And here's where we're gonna add on. So we're gonna straighten that right leg. Tee out our arms, start to shift over that right straight leg. Then drop that right hand down to any degree. Find our Trikonasana. So you just don't wanna be hinging over. You wanna try to feel like you're between two panes of glass. So it doesn't matter how high or how low you can bring that right hand. It's more about keeping your torso in line. So finding that nice Trikonasana here. And then we're gonna circle that left arm down, come into that low side lunge on the left. This should feel familiar as well, feeling that nice through that right straightened leg. And this time we're gonna low side lunge over to the other side. So just a nice fluid movement between one side to the next. And then we're gonna turn to face the back of the mat. Drop that back knee down. Inhale, your arms come up. Finding the Anjalayasana. Nice and deep in this low lunge, breathing here. And then plant those palms. Sit back, straighten that left leg, and find half splits. Feeling that stretch all along that left back side of your leg, hamstring, glutes. Rebend, put all of that weight into that left foot, a little bit on those fingertips, and we're gonna find our standing splits. So another balancing posture here, coming from low to high. Obviously, you don't need to get that leg super high, and that's okay. Then we're gonna plant both palms, step that right foot back, step that left foot back, take a vinyasa. Or just meet in that downward facing dog. So now you'll notice we're facing the back of our mat, and that's okay. Kind of throws our brains off, which is great. Inhale that left leg to the sky anytime we're facing the back of the mat. So exhale, step it on through, ground that back foot, rise all the way up. And we'll exhale, find that clasp. Inhale, shine your heart. Exhale, humble warrior. Whoop, see, nobody's perfect. Then we're gonna plant that right palm. Inhale your left arm up to the sky, dragonfly twist. And bring that left hand slightly out in front of you. Find your stability before you rise up into that half moon balance. And find that soft landing, warrior two. Put that left palm up, right palm slides down, finding that reverse warrior. This is where we added on, so we straighten that left leg, tee out our arms, begin to extend, and then drop that left hand down to any degree where you can keep your torso between those two imaginary panes of glass. Then follow that right hand all the way down around. We'll find that low side lunge. And back to the left side. As we turn back to face the front of the mat, we're gonna drop that back knee down. Inhale those arms up and overhead. And then exhale as we sit back into that half splits. Feeling the juiciness in the back of that right leg. We're gonna rebend, find stability in that right foot. Begin to bring ourselves up into that standing splits. Just envision bringing your knee to your nose or your nose to your knee. 3 points of contact, or you can start to challenge your balance. Maybe bring one hand off around your ankle, maybe your other one. or just keep those 3 points of contact. Step that left foot back, right foot back, and optional vinyasa. Downward facing dog. Take a few moments to breathe in this downward facing dog. We're going to add on one last little chunk to our sun salutation C. Inhale, lift that right leg to the sky. Exhale, step it through. Ground and then rise on that inhale. Exhale, find that clasp. Inhale, shine your heart. Exhale, humble warrior. From humble warrior, we find that dragonfly twist. And then right hand plants, left arm opens, half moon balance. Soft landing, warrior two. Inhale as we reverse it. Exhale, straighten that right leg, shift off, find our Trikonasana. You can also always have a block here if that brings the ground a little closer for you. Circle that left hand down and around, low side lunge. And over to the right side. Turning back to face the back of your mat, drop that back knee down. Arms rise up, Anjalayasana. And then exhale as we sit back into half splits. If full splits is in your practice, feel free. Rebend, we're gonna come up and find that standing splits here. Then we're gonna go ahead and keep your hands on the ground or bring them to heart center. Bring that right knee right behind your left into Jiva squat. Inhale, re-extend. Exhale, Jiva squat. Inhale, re-extend. One last time, Jiva squat, really feeling that left glute burn. Inhale, re-extend. Again, find that stability in your left leg. Gonna rise all the way up. Try to keep that right leg lifted. And find tree pose. Your foot doesn't have to come this high. It could be down on the ground. Wherever feels good. Your palms could be at the heart center, or you could expand your branches. Wherever you are, you just don't want to put that foot against your knee. So from here, we're gonna take a big step, open into star, take up as much space as you can, gaze up. Exhale as we hinge into goddess. So bending those knees, arms come to goalpost arms, you're still nice and strong. We're gonna turn our toes slightly in, heel slightly out, and find a wide leg forward fold. Breathing here. And then kind of heel toe those feet in just a little closer as we drop down low into Malasana squat. So bringing those palms to heart center and just kind of shift side to side into this first low squat. Breathing nice and deep. And we're gonna go ahead and sit all the way down to the ground. We're gonna bring our left sole of our foot to the inside of the right thigh. Inhale our arms up and overhead. And exhale, fold over that right straightened leg into Jani Shirshasana, knee to nose pose. Breathing here. Release that clasp and inhale, that left arm comes up and over. We're gonna prop ourselves up into a modified side plank on that left knee. You can stay here or bend that top leg, reach for that foot. Open up, feeling that stretch all through your quad. If you do have that foot grab, really push your foot into hand, hand into foot. And we're gonna release, plant that right palm down. We're gonna step our right leg down to the sky, or down to the ground. Inhale, that left leg lifts to the sky because we're facing the back of the room. And then find that scorpion's tail. So bend that top knee. Knee is pointed towards the sky, heel is coming towards your glute. You can always flip your dog all the way over if that feels good, or stay in that scorpion's tail. If you did flip your dog, come back to three-legged dog. And we're just gonna begin again. So step that left leg through, round your back foot, rise up to standing. Exhale, cactus your arms. Inhale, shine your heart. Exhale, humble warrior. Right hand plants, left arm to the sky, dragonfly twist. Shift forward into that half moon balance. And then find that soft landing, warrior two. Inhale as you reverse your warrior. And exhale, straighten that left leg. Shift and find that Trikonasana. Gaze up on an inhale. Exhale as we bring that right hand all the way down. Find that low side lunge on the right. And then shifting over to the left. Turning back to face the front of the mat. We're going to drop that back knee down. Inhale those arms up and overhead. And exhale, sit into half splits or full splits. Breathe in, put the weight in that right foot and find your standing splits or standing L. And again, 3 times do that Jiva squat, whether you're supported with your hands or not. Feeling that glute light up. And then slowly find that stability, rise all the way up. Whoop. And inhale, find your tree, any variation. Take a big step out, take up all that space, shine like a star. And exhale, sit into goddess pose. Turn those toes slightly in, heels slightly out as we find that wide leg fold. And then heel toe in as we sink into that Malasana squat. This time as we sit all the way down, we're going to bring the right foot to the inside of the left thigh. Inhale, our arms up overhead. Exhale, fold over that left straightened leg. Right arm leads, propping up on that right knee. Option to grab that top leg. And as we release, that left foot is going to plant. Right leg will lift to the sky. Scorpion's tail or wild thing if you want to flip your dog. And then begin again in that 3-legged dog. Exhale, step it through. Ground that back foot, rise up. Exhale, find that clasp. Inhale, shine. Exhale, humble warrior. Plant that left palm. Inhale, right arm to the sky, dragonfly twist. And then exhale, plant that right hand. Inhale as you open, half moon balance. Exhale, soft landing, warrior two. Inhale as you reverse your warrior. Exhale as you straighten those legs, drop that right knee down. Inhale, gaze up at your left fingertips. Circle that left arm down and around, find that low side lunge. And over to the other side. Exhale as you turn to face the back of the mat, drop that back knee down. Inhale, arms up and over. Exhale, half splits. Inhale, root to rise, coming all the way into that standing splits. Exhale, 3, Jiva squat and extends. Inhale. Exhale as you come in. Inhale as you extend. One last time. Inhale, extend. Slowly rising up. Find your variation of tree or tall mountain. And then open up to that star. Exhale into goddess. And then fold into that wide leg fold. Coming deep into that Malasana squat. Sitting down, left foot comes to the inside of right thigh, inside, or inhale, open. Exhale, fold. Left arm leads, left knee props. And then optional foot grab here. Release, follow your feet around. That left leg's gonna lift to the sky. Scorpion's tail or wild thing. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Exhale, cycle back through, beginning again. Exhale, find that clasp. Inhale as you open. Exhale as you fold. Right palm plants, left arm to the sky. And then, half moon balance, almost skipped that fun one. And then find that soft landing. Reverse your warrior. Straighten both legs, drop it, and then inhale, Trikonasana. Now we circle that right arm down into that low side lunge. And over to the left. Back to the front, drop that back knee down. Arms reach up and overhead. And exhale, half splits. One more time, root down first and then rise up. 3 Jiva squat at your own pace. And then slowly rise up, find your variation of tree pose. And then step out, find that star. Exhale to goddess. Toes in, heels out, wide leg fold. And then find that Malasana squat. Sit all the way down, right foot to the inside of left thigh. Inhale, open, exhale, fold. Right palm plants, right knee plants, modified side plank. Optional foot grab and open. And as we release that left foot down, right leg lifts to the sky and find that drag or that scorpion's tail. Then back to three-legged dog. Set that foot down and we'll take a vinyasa. Inhale, upward facing dog, and exhale, downward facing dog. Go ahead and take a few moments here in child's pose or in down dog, wherever feels like a good rest for you. Noticing again where you need to soften. Noticing if you need to soften your brow, soften your jaw. And just coming back to that breath. So now that we've got nice and warmed up, it's time that we add a little fuel to the fire. So everything before was our nice juicy warm up, and now we're gonna stoke that fire just a little bit more. So go ahead and come into that plank, nice and strong here. Really lifting up through those glutes, pushing back through those heels. Your shoulders are directly above your palms. Your core is engaged, belly button is drawn in. Knowing that it's always our mind that wants to quit first. That's always what wants to let go. But we are always stronger than our minds. We're gonna drop our heels to the right. Inhale, open that left arm to the sky. And of course, you always have the option to come down on that lower knee. But if you have it in you, try to lift up into that side plank, really feeling yourself lift from that lower side body. Breathing here. Never losing sight of that breath. Plant your left palm, come back to plank, breathe. And then our heels will drop to the left side. Inhale as we open to that side plank on the opposite side. Gaze up at those right fingertips. Coming back to that breath if you've stopped breathing. Remember, that's the only thing that's required here. So even if you're lying on your back breathing right now, you're doing a great job. And exhale back to plank. We're almost through this. You've got this. And exhale, lower all the way down. Go ahead and let your right ear or left ear just relax onto the mat. Feeling everything get heavy. Then we're gonna reach, find that clasp of our hands, opposite elbow grab. Lift those feet, lift that chest. And just breathe here. Feeling that nice opposition, that nice opening. And exhale, let your opposite ear come to the ground. So you can rinse and repeat the same, or you can reach for those feet. If you do have a hold of those feet, you're gonna really push those feet in the hands, hand in the feet. Your Arms should be nice and straight. And if you're breathing, you should be rocking. And exhale, release. So we're gonna slowly come up out of this, and of course, now we have really warmed up our bodies, and we're gonna find a nice, juicy yin posture where we can get deep into the fascia. So come onto the long edge of your mat, and we're gonna come into frog. So you want your hips in line with your knees, which are in line with your feet, and your feet are flexed. So letting everything open here. You don't want to come too far forward. You don't want to sit too far back. You want to just kind of come down to the forearms and let those hips really feel it. And just breathing nice and deep here. This is another area where our mind wants to talk us into getting out of it. It tries to tell us that we can't do it, that we can't stay here. But this is where your breath comes in. This is where you breathe into those hips, breathe into those areas of tension. And what we're really doing here is we're kind of working energy. It's almost like we have a kink in our hips right now where we're stopping all the energy up, but there's already stagnant energy there. So as soon as we come out of this pose, which we're not there yet, we're gonna let that energy just flow freely through there. We're gonna break up those blockages in our hips and really let that energy and that emotion and everything else flow freely through those areas where we tend to hold it. So that's why we typically hold these yin postures anywhere from 2 to 5 minutes. Typically longer than we would do for ourselves, which is what's great about having somebody else guide you through a practice, because so often we want to come out way sooner than we should. That's when our breath comes in. Focusing on that deep inhale through your nose as your belly expands. And then deep exhale out of your nose, just creating that nice ocean-like sound. Just a little bit longer. And then slowly making your way out of this. Maybe you shift forward, maybe you shift back. Just listening to what feels good to you. Bringing some movements in to really let that energy flow. Feeling that those energy lines moving freely through your hips. And then we're going to just make our way onto our back. And again, I invite you as your own greatest teacher to bring in any finishing postures that feel good. Maybe you just want to bring your knees into your chest, rock side to side. Maybe you want to find a happy baby. Maybe you want a shoulder stand, a spine twist. Again, only you know best what sounds good to you. But when you're ready, taking your time, just make your way into that final resting pose, Shavasana. Shutting your eyes down, releasing that Ujjayi breath. Taking up as much space on your mat as you need. And just feeling everything get heavy into the mat space. Begin to bring small movements into your fingers and your toes. Beginning to bring that awareness back into your body, Or if you choose, you can feel free to stay here in this final rest for as long as you like. Inhale, stretching those arms up and overhead, finding that stretch from fingers down to toes. Then exhale as you bring your knees into your chest and just roll onto either side using your nice strong arm as a pillow. And just take this moment to check in with yourself one last time, noticing how you feel. And keeping your eyes shut down, just push yourself up into a nice, easy seat. Bring your palms to heart center and bow slightly to look within. May the sun bring you new energy by day. May the moon softly restore you by night. May the rains wash away your worries, and may the breeze blow new strength into your being every day. Thank you so much for sharing your practice. Namaste. Thanks again for being here, and if you liked this, please leave me a comment, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.